To India now, a fifth suspect has been arrested in the brutal gang rape of a 23-year-old photojournalist. Now, this attack happened last week in Mumbai. The suspect was tracked down some 700 miles away in India's capital of New Delhi. The victim is in stable condition at a hospital. She and a colleague were on assignment in Mumbai when they were trapped and attacked.
The case follows the deadly gang rape 8 months ago that sparked national protests and led to a tougher rape law. It is reigniting anger and fear about the safety of women across India.
Our Sarah Seidner was based in India for almost 5 years, and she joins us today in Atlanta. And Sarah, you and I have been talking about this because it has been in the news, and it seems to be a huge problem. But when you were there, when you were living there, you too were harassed. Can you tell us about it?
Yeah, I think what you're seeing is you're really seeing more reporting of some of these cases, and because they are so shocking and so egregious and so violent, that you're starting to hear about it more, and people are really becoming outraged. You're really seeing a clash of traditions is what it appears to be. A lot of people look at India as a very traditional society, but we have to be really careful because there are more than 1 billion people who live there, and it is certainly not fair to color all Indian men with the same paintbrush. The same when it comes to Indian women. I mean, many of the Indian women, they're not victims. They are the president of the country at one point. There was a prime minister that was Indian. So it is a very interesting dichotomy, but certainly this is a problem. I want to show you some videotape, and you will likely remember this, you as well, Richard. 2008, I had just started my role as a correspondent in India, and the Mumbai attacks happened.
Right.
And this went on for some 60 hours. There was a terrorist attack going on in the Taj Hotel, and as that was happening during one of my live shots, let me show you what happened.
I gotta get out of here, guys. So tell me, yes.
Tell her why should we are there.
So at the point you hear me say stop it, what's happening there is I am literally being grabbed and groped, and my clothes were torn, and I had bruises, and I had to fight my way out of that crowd that had gathered. Now, reminding you, there was a terrorist attack going on just behind me. People were literally being slaughtered in the hotel. But that crowd of men gathered, and suddenly the whole attention was turned on to me and my producer, who happened to be a woman. She was able to get out. I got stuck in the middle of the melee.
And this happened just because the lights went out, and that was a moment of opportunity for these people who had been surrounding you all day, essentially, but attacked at that very moment?
Yeah, so they had gone from one reporter to another, just kind of watching the lights, and then suddenly, you know, as a woman, I think they took the opportunity when the lights went out to start all this.
Why? Why does it happen? I mean, what is it? Is there a cultural issue here?
Yeah.
Is it the way women are viewed? Because women have held some very senior posts right the way up through government and in business. What's going on?
I think what you're seeing here is a change in society, a very big change. As you mentioned, you know, back to Indira Gandhi, who was the prime minister. I mean, this is a long time ago. The president who just left office was a woman. But what you're seeing, I think, here is everyday women are starting to change their roles. They are starting to become more economically independent. Whereas men had really been, it's a patriarchal society, men had really been in that role of taking care or protecting women. And that has been a long-standing rule in India, that men are supposed to take care of, put women on a pedestal, and protect them. And so that goes to an interesting point that a lot of people from the villages are coming into cities, and they're seeing women wear clothes they're not used to seeing them wear, for example, jeans and perhaps a t-shirt. That, to a lot of people, is revealing and inviting. And so I think what you're seeing is a clash of cultures and modernism versus traditionalism.
And Sarah, you were on the ground, and obviously you were doing your job. You were a professional woman there. They had seen you there. Did you ever feel at any point that there was some recourse? Like, if I follow up, well, maybe these guys who had groped me will be arrested or punished in some way, or did you just feel like that wasn't worth it?
You know, I think about it now because I know that the most number of attacks or assaults really are the groping ones, right? On the train, on the bus, somewhere like, you know, a live shot where there just happens to be a lot of people. And at the time, I didn't even think about it because there were more than 160 people being killed behind me in a hotel, and it wasn't top of mind. To me, what was going on behind me at the Taj Hotel was far more important and far more big of a story, which it is, than talking about what I considered was a very, you know, quick one-off incident, and I didn't want to think about it. So I never said anything. And I know a lot of Indian women, my friends there, a lot of people I've met, never report these kinds of things.
Wow. Well, Sarah, thank you for bringing it to our attention, obviously, to bring it forward. And I mean, it just takes a lot of courage and focus to do what you did, because we had no idea that had actually happened at the time when you were reporting that story.
Thanks, Suzanne.
Thanks,
All right.
thank you.
Thanks, Sarah. Well, he is busy, of course, leading the Catholic Church, but Pope Francis, he has time to pick up the phone and call his parishioners. The surprising call that one teen received. Straight ahead.